Hello and welcome back to our channel, African Farming Narratives with Magmac. In this video, we are just going to talk about some of the things you may be interested to know if you want to go into castor bean farming in Africa and particularly in Zimbabwe. Please just watch to the end of the video because I think I will be bringing you some information that you may be very interested to know. So watch to the end of the video. As you know, we have planted 1 hectare of castor beans in Zimbabwe. And just at this point, I just want to encourage you to go back and watch our previous videos if you've not already done so, to see how what our progress has been up to now. Also, subscribe to our channel for more updates and leave us comments telling us what you think about this video. And last but not least, if you like the content we are bringing you, please press the like button below just to help YouTube to show our video to more viewers. And thank you very much for watching and passing by. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about concerning castor beans are the varieties, the different kinds of castor beans. There are 2 main, categories rather than varieties really. There are 2 main categories of castor plants. The first category is called ornamental or garden plants. These are castor plants that are grown for decorative purposes in gardens and in landscape designs. They are quite beautiful and colorful. But right now we are not interested in those because they don't bring us money. The categories that we are going to talk about and that we are interested in are those cultivars of castor beans that are used for castor oil production. There are a few different types of such castor beans. But in Zimbabwe, there are 2 main varieties that are used. The first one is called King Zanzibar variety, and the other one is the Black Jamaican castor seeds. Black Jamaican castor seeds. The King Zanzibar is drought resistant, and it can survive in severe conditions without water for long periods of time. Whereas on the other hand, the Black Jamaican seeds require plenty of water. So farmers will be encouraged to have a means of irrigating their plants. Did I say irrigating? Did you watch our video on irrigating our plants? If not, just go back and watch that video. In our farm, we've planted the Black Jamaican castor beans. The reason we chose the Black Jamaican castor beans is because they are said to produce more oil compared to the Zanzibar variety. And as the name says, the Black Jamaican seeds are black in color, whereas the King Zanzibar seeds are brown with some spotted patterns on them. To me, it doesn't really matter. Castor beans are castor beans. In the future, I think we will also try to plant the King Zanzibar variety and compare the difference between the 2 for ourselves. So that's that about the varieties. Something else I want to discuss briefly is just the agronomic conditions, of growing these beans. Castor beans grows in all kinds of soils, really, but it prefers well-drained and moisture-retentive soil, such as the sandy loam. And as with any other plant or any other crop, castor beans will do well in fertile soils, well aerated soils, and with a pH of between 6 and 7.3, and also an annual rainfall between 600 to 700 millimeters. Well, I didn't know that when we planted our seeds. We didn't even get our soil tested for its pH, and we are just hoping we got enough rainfall. We got some rainfall, and we are supplementing with irrigating. So it remains to be seen. If you stay tuned into our channel, we will be bringing you updates about how we do with regards to the moisture content. The other thing is castor beans require warm temperatures. They do well in temperatures between 20 to 26 degrees Celsius. And shoots die at temperatures below 1 degree Celsius. And adult plants can die below 3 degrees Celsius. So when planting castor beans, please make sure that your plants will have at least 60 to 8 days of warm temperature conditions. And for growers in Zimbabwe, avoid planting during the winter season or close to winter. We planted our seeds in March. So I think our plants are going to have at least 2 months before the winter season actually sets in. So we are hoping for the best. With regards to land preparation, this depends on the farmer, on the means of the farmer really. In our farm, we used a tractor to plow and harrow our land before we planted. Did I say that castor beans is a deep-rooted crop? What this means is that deep plowing is useful. So one deep plowing with a tractor, ideally followed by 2 or 3 harrowing, is said to be sufficient to bring the field to the desired tilth. But in our field, we did 1 harrowing. As I said, it depends on the resources of the farmer. For us, it was the cost of hiring the tractor for plowing, and then for harrowing, it's 2 different costs. For starters like us, I thought it was just too much, so we just did 1 harrowing. But next time we will be prepared. So stay tuned to our channel, as we will be bringing you updates every time we do anything to our farm. Right, so for method of sowing, the crop is planted in rows, either by drill or in furrows opened by plow or by transplanting the seedlings. It just depends on the choice of the farmer. We've done some transplanting ourselves, but the major work, we just planted in rows. The spacing wise, between rows, 2 meters between rows is sufficient, and 1 meter between each plant within the row. That's the spacing specifications that we used for our farm. But it also depends on what variety you are planting, because I hear there are some varieties which are called dwarf varieties, which you can plant up to 50,000, 55,000 seeds in a hectare. For ours, we planted 5,000 seeds. So it just depends really. And seeds must be soaked in water before planting. Soak them for 24 to 48 hours before planting them. When planting, at the time of planting, apply fertilizers, organic fertilizers ideally. Like we used cow manure when we were planting our seeds, and apply fertilizers every month until fruition. This all depends on whether the end product, how you need the end product to be. We are growing organic, so we are not using artificial fertilizers. Castor beans, as I said before, they love water, so it is imperative really that farmers water their seeds every day until they germinate. And then after germination, water them every 3 to 5 days until the plants are strong enough and the roots are strong enough to find their own water under the ground. You know, these plants can say once they are deep rooted, they can survive harsher conditions. Next is where to buy seeds from in Zimbabwe. There are a few places that you can buy castor bean seeds from. I do not want to discuss the companies because then that means I have to speak to these companies and ask for their permission to talk about them on my YouTube channel. But I'm sure a quick internet search will guide you. As for us, we collaborated with a company in Zimbabwe where we bought our seeds from, and we will be expecting to sell back the harvest to them. If you are interested to know which company, please email us. I will leave our email address in the description box of this video. So yeah, just feel free to ask me questions, to email me, and the more you interact with us, is the more we also learn, and we can do the research for you. So thank you very much for watching our video. But here is the bit that I think you may be very, very interested to hear. How much can a farmer expect in returns, cash value wise, per hectare? So castor beans is an interesting crop really, because it gives you yield 3 times a year for up to 7 years. So our variety that we planted, it will give us yield 3 times a year up to 7 years. Right. So the first 4 months after planting 1 hectare, you can expect to harvest 1 ton of castor beans. This is because your crops are still small. I think I will bring a video talking about how to harvest the castor bean, and just so as to give people an idea of what it entails. So bunches grow on the plant. So because these crops are still small, the first harvest, you may have just 1 bunch per crop. A bunch can give you 1 kilogram or maybe half a kilogram. It just depends on the moisture content of your seeds. So in Zimbabwe, seeds you can sell them, the range that you can sell them at is between 80 cents USD cents to $1.20 USD per kilogram. So if you harvest a ton is 1,000 kilograms. If you harvest a ton, you will roughly be expecting about $900 to $1,000, all things being well. This is on your first harvest. And as your plants mature more, you will get better yield. So your second harvest will be 8 months after planting. And there is no season for this. It just goes, the maturity comes with the time. So 8 months after planting, you'll be expecting to harvest at least 3 to 4 tons of the beans. So the yield goes higher. Your plants are now getting 2 or 3 branches of the beans per plant. So the cash value estimate will be between 3,600 to 4,000 US dollars. This is only for 1 hectare. For me, things are starting to get interesting at this point. I'm calculating in my head already because I have already done the work. You know, I've planted the seeds. I have planted the seeds, guys. I've planted the seeds. So in the third harvest, which is approximately 12 months or 1 year after planting, we are now expecting 6 to 8 tons of the beans, with an estimated return of between $7,600 to $8,000 per hectare, per harvest. And we are expecting 3 harvests a year. I think this is a no-brainer. And on the 4th harvest and 16 harvests that come after that, we will be expecting at least 8,500 with a tonnage of 7 to 8 tons. So here you go. This is what I wanted to discuss today, but I've got to put a disclaimer in there that these results are not typical for everybody. These results differ depending on different factors, depending on how well you maintained your crop, depending on climatic conditions. What we are discussing here is just guidance and insight into the profitability of this project. But as we are learning and as we are giving you updates on this channel, please stay tuned in, subscribe so that you can see how well we do. We will be discussing everything concerning our castor bean farm. Did you enjoy? Please press the like button. Please leave a comment below. And thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Stay blessed, family, and remain blessed. See you in the next video. Thank you so much.